it's compared to CPAP quite often, and I look at CPAP and high flow kind of like donuts and donut holes. They taste the same, but they are different. Mr. Howard did a great job with his on how you look at different high flows. High flows and CPAP are different because of leak. But what is really inherent about a high flow nasal cannula? What's the difference between a nasal cannula and a high flow? Heat and humidification. So the manufacturers tell us that, oh, we'll get you great heat and humidification, 100% relative humidity at 37 degrees, 44 milligrams. Great trivia question for all the students out there. But really, does it do that? So the study that we put together with our hygrometer looked at all three different manufacturers, the Vapotherm, the Optiflow, and the Hudson ComfortFlow, and just looked at the humidification at the patient outlet to see if it was okay, see if it worked out well. And we did see some variability within the different ones at all different flow rates, from 1 all the way up to 60 liters a minute. What I really got out of this is we don't know enough about high flow nasal cannula and its long-term outcomes. We don't know enough about what is proper and optimal humidification to the nose. And I think in the future, we really need to collaborate with ENT specialists to make sure that we're not causing any damage, any histamine response. Mr. Malinowski talking about that today. I think that there needs to be a little bit more that we study about the heat humidification and if it actually gives what the patient needs. Just because they say they're comfortable doesn't mean it's good for them.
Any questions?
I have a question. I just wondered if you have explored the same issues with the neonatal pediatric settings.
Yes, so we did. There's so many different configurations you can do with any single one of them. You can have a Vapotherm cannula with a Hudson circuit. Like, you could do too many, so we did all just specifically out of the patient outlet before you hit the nasal cannula. So we did 1, 4, 8, 20, 40, and 60 liters a minute, all the way across the board to see really if you have a stable humidification. What we found was actually interesting. F&P did a great job, stayed very high in their absolute humidity across the continuum of flow rates. Hudson did a very good job. Vapotherm was a little small, a little lower absolute humidity at 1 and 40 liters. They can't go up to 60 liters at that time when I did the study, which was surprising. The question is that does it even matter? We don't know if it matters because we don't know if proper humidification is there. And Ruben, I'm glad you asked the question because you're on my poster. You and Brian did something about non-invasive and invasive humidity with active and passive. We all know that that's the truth. That's the way that we should practice respiratory care. But we don't know how to set a humidifier when it comes to high flow nasal cannula. And I think in the future, that's what we need to do.
Did your study also include the patient's perception of comfort?
No, this was purely a laboratory bench model. I set up all 3 of the different systems to try to mimic themselves, get them as close as possible, and I put the hygrometer right at the patient interface just to see. I think that patient comfort is really the next step of what you have to do when we look at high flow nasal cannula in the future.
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Matthew.
Thank you.